not. I just want to just Africa's not the promised land. Now you got Ron Dalton out here. I don't know if you've been watching, but Ron Dalton um, has been saying this. He's been saying that that the promised land is actually Africa. You got to show me this. Don't take me nowhere else. I want to see scripture and I want to see historical records. If you can't show me that, like if you can't show me that way, then your theology is bogus, plain and simple. Okay, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I'm just of the mindset that Africa is not the promised land. What do you think, Jess?
Like I said, how do they? I don't understand, Jim. How they get to these conclusions? If it's Africa, then how do you even read Ezra from Babylon when they're coming
Yeah,
back to the land? How do they not see that the land it's a primary focus in
right.
the Old Testament? I don't get it. Yep. Yeah, and they weren't even in the land in Deuteronomy.
Um, I mean, that sums it up right there, Alton.
Obedience, disobedience.
That's all it is. It's just a bunch of foolishness. Okay, that we got to talk about. So now we're gonna get to the my fifth point. My fifth and final point is we're gonna talk about these slave ships and no buyer. Now here's the breakdown. Here's the Deuteronomy 28:68. Here it is. Here it is. It says, and the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships.
Yep.
Okay, so let's deal with that. Ships, where these ships come from? I did some research.
Mhm.
Here's what the scholars say about that. Okay, the IVP Old Testament commentary. This is what it says: Assyrian kings of the seventh century coerced their vassals into supplying troops with their military campaigns. One way, then, for Israelites to return to Egypt in ships would be in a Assyrian campaigns launched from the Phoenician coast, in which they were obliged to take part. This represents a continued oppression by foreign enemies, as the curses have detailed. Another possibility would include falling victim to Egypt's slave trade
Mm.
in Syro-Palestine, where the slaves were often transported by ship.
Okay. Wow.
Wow, really? Check
Hmm.
this out. Frederick Munter. This is what Frederick Munter said.